Hello, everyone. This is a bit of a strange thing I do not normally do, but I felt I had to make a response to the video that HeroHei put out Sunday night talking about Rooster Teeth. Now, before I get into it, I want to emphasize that I like Hero. I like what he does, and I have the utmost respect for him. However, that being said, I feel as if his opinions on this matter should be criticized, and I hope he gets to see this. Now then, hi Hero. We had a bit of a conversation in the comments section of the video in question, but before we get into that, I'm going to play a couple important clips from the video that I believe provides the context for those watching who do not know already.
I'm going to play in just a moment a 37-second clip where Gus, along with some other personalities from Rooster Teeth, make light of the terrible situation going on in the world, and the way they laugh and seem all smug about it furthers the distaste. It's really disgusting. Now, I will admit, when they recorded this, things were not nearly as bad as they are now. However, the fact is, experts were talking about this issue since as far back as January, and it's been a serious topic since then, if not earlier.
Everything that Hero has said up until this point has been accurate and valid. Experts had been discussing the situation as far back as late January. Just looking at the World Health Organization website, we can see that the first situation report on COVID-19 came on the 21st of January. I suppose you could say the statement I take issue with is the follow-up. It continued to be a major topic in the world since then. I'm going to let Hero continue in the clip so that I do not take him out of context or put words in his mouth.
Not through all parts of the world, certainly in China. It was a very terrible thing back then as well, so still extremely distasteful to joke about this and laugh and sound so pompous. And now let's fall back to what I said a moment ago. I'm going to have to be careful in my coverage. I'm going to remove the areas where he mentions the topic that we're talking about here, as you can understand. That said, I will leave a link to the unredacted version in the description. Let's play this now.
The other thing I saw is I've seen a few people, not a bunch, but I've seen the occasional post where someone's worried about and they're worried.
This is the other thing you're annoyed about?
Yes. They're worried saying that maybe people shouldn't go to RTX because there are other things in the world to worry about.
Yeah. I'd say you're more likely to have a in the airport than you are to get.
I will personally give you if you come to RTX. July 3rd to 5th, I will sneeze in your face.
So buy tickets.
So buy tickets now. They're available. Free Gus.
Do you realize if you set up a sneezing...
I don't even have much to say. That's how disgusted I am with this company.
So this was the clip in question, and I do agree the joke was distasteful, but that's hardly a critique to put on someone when, as of the day this Rooster Teeth video was filmed, there was one death outside of China, and it was centered around the same region of the world, in the Philippines. While it had come to the United States by the 21st of January, the same day the CDC activated the Emergency Operations Center, it was contained, and most media personalities, did not report on it as something major to worry about. But do you know what was making major news at that time? Impeachment. Lieutenant Colonel Vindman being fired. Trump's tweet about Roger Stone. Pelosi tearing up Trump's State of the Union speech. You see, fortunately or unfortunately, this channel deals a lot with politics, and as such, I am watching major news almost constantly. Even while at my day job, I have the news playing in the background. One of my favorite individuals to watch on YouTube is a Mr. Tim Pool, who rose to fame during the Occupy Wall Street situation, where he was an on-the-ground reporter and later rose to great name recognition. And if there's ever a time I need a critical thinker who is a little bit more left than myself, it's him. And much like myself, he is also constantly watching the news. You will notice his videos regarding coronavirus stretch as far back as the end of January. That being said, the entire time through when this reporting from independent content creators like us was going on, the mainstream media was not covering it. Not only that, but at the same time, many people in positions of power in this country were telling us that overall risk for the US was very low. This is a video from February 7th, Captain Jennifer McQuiston with the Centers for Disease Control. I want everyone to pay attention to what she had to say on this Friday.
And we know that 14 days is the maximum length of time for an incubation period for similar coronaviruses. JBSA Lackland will be housing some of these evacuees who are returning from Hubei. We don't yet know the number. We're prepared for as many as 250 passengers. It could be less than that. That flight has not left China yet. It is currently projected to land on Friday, although I do want to caution you that those dates and times could still change. But the immediate risk of this new virus to the American public is believed to be low at this time. For Americans, the biggest risk continues to be travel to China, the epicenter where that outbreak is expanding, or caring for people who are sick with coronavirus.
So this report was saying that they would hold Americans who were in the Hubei province in Lackland Air Force Base for a quarantine of 14 days. If we knew what it would turn into, if we knew what we knew now, I do not think that this would have happened. But consider Gus's circumstance. Why would he know better? Why should he have known better? I mean, the CDC was reporting that things were relatively low risk. So I want to quickly go into what I had written in the comment section because I think it's relevant. No, Hero, you cannot play hindsight. You cannot judge what someone said then by the standards of what we know now. That is blatantly unfair and you know better. I wrote this because it seemed more like an opportunity to put up another strike against Rooster Teeth, a company that you admit you do not like for a multitude of reasons, most of which I resonate with. But it seemed misplaced. Gus's statement in the video that you go through, I'll place the unredacted version of the post here, because I'm not monetized anyway, so no worries there, really. He says that at the time he thought it was gonna be like SARS or H1N1, and that he didn't consider it much of a big deal at the time. Because, let me remind you, the CDC didn't consider it a big deal at the time. There is a problem in this country, that we find issues in a faraway place as other, as so outside of our personal safety net that we don't acknowledge them. This is not a Rooster Teeth problem, this is an American problem. Maybe it's a British problem too. I will let my UK followers say so if I am correct in that. But that being said, Hero, you did respond to my post. You said the following. This isn't playing hindsight. I simply just now found out about this clip. If I knew about it back then, I likely would have had a similar take. As I said in this video, the situation has had mainstream media coverage since January. Gus should have known what was going on. As a founder of Rooster Teeth, I'd imagine he wants the success of the company and RTX. To do a segment downplaying the issue and promoting RTX is anything short of negligent. The health and safety of attendees and staff and volunteers should be paramount, and the way it came off like he knew nothing about this situation is his mistake because the information was out there, even back then. I have gone through a couple of the points that you testified to here in this statement already earlier in the video, but your assertion that this is anything short of negligent is pretty far off the mark. I heavily disagree with that statement. Never contribute to malice that which can be explained by ignorance. Gus is a co-founder, yes, but he's not the CEO. He's not the COO. I mean, the only founding member in Rooster Teeth who is in a chief position is Bernie as the chief operating officer. So while information was out there, who was supposed to be the authority? The CDC, who told everyone that America was low risk? The WHO? The coronavirus task force in the White House? The media? Random politics YouTubers like me? Whose responsibility was it to know better? And the simple fact is that no one knew, man. No one knew it was going to be like this. So again, with all due respect, Hero, I love what you do, but I think you missed the mark on this one. I wanted to make this video to put all this information out there at once. So if you guys are here because of my tag, feel free to comment down below your thoughts. Thank you for joining me this evening, and I will see y'all soon.